Not sure about that, but
What?
which one do you think is scarier?
Oh, between what? Any guns? What do you mean? Like, what's scarier? What do you... Do I find guns scary?
Like, what's the point of banning just one type of gun?
We're just banning one gun just because it... What does it do differently? Like, what do you...
Yeah, because honestly, it's pretty stupid just banning one type of gun.
Well, no, like, because the way I see it is they're banning it because they're like, oh my god, that looks dangerous, and look at those... Look at the bullets, whatever. Yeah, look at the bullets, and it looks dangerous or big. Oh my god, scary. We don't want that. Why do you need that to hunt, man? Why do you need that, bro? It's like I can defend myself better. It works more efficiently. Come on, man. Let me see. I have like what, like a Glock, right?
A gun.
No, I say I have a Glock, right? That's I think that's the most popular gun used by police too, right?
Mostly everybody has it.
Yeah.
If you see, like, most people, you see, they'll have guns, most likely.
Yeah, Glock's more like, and it has like 17 rounds.
It's more efficient because it's rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
And
Plastic.
huh?
It's plastic.
Well, half of it's plastic, half of it's metal.
Yeah, but plastic most.
Yeah, most of it is plastic, but guess what? You can't shoot a gun from full plastic. So
Mm-hmm. No, so yeah, because like they don't really care about that weapon, but they care about the one because it looks more dangerous. So I don't think we should ban guns. Because it's the Second Amendment. Like, well, that was before when we had muskets and shit. Yeah, but it was meant. As time passed, the law would like eventually like go with the years that have passed, right? Because when eventually time passed, they knew that guns were gonna get a lot more better and futuristic. So we knew that. That was common sense. Even they knew it. So they're like, yeah, people still should have guns because in case the government. But the governments at this point, how they are too strong and stuff.
you look throughout history, guns actually help out.
No, I know, yeah, they do.
You see, what was that one? When all the Americans fought with the government, I forgot. Like it was like,
Civil War.
yeah, the Civil War. Yeah, sorry, I just. The Civil War, it was like between Americans. That was meant for us to fight the government. Imagine if something breaks down with a government, a dictatorship. Who was that gonna help out?
You know what liberals say? Trump is literally Hitler, but they still want to ban guns anyway. So it doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
Part of being a fucking dictatorship, taking one of the big amendments away, like from us.
yeah, taking the guns away because you disarm the people. The people can't fight against you, basically.
Basically, being dictatorship. Why the fuck they want to do that if you're gonna give out more power to Trump?
They don't make no sense. I mean, if American Civil War is to break out like today, one side doesn't even know which bathroom to use. The other side has all the weapons. So I don't know. I don't know which side would win. Thing.
Well, the way I see it is one side it has a Trump derangement syndrome who lost an election they should have won because they fucked themselves over and they can't accept the fact they lost. So they're trying everything so that they can win this time. Okay, you know what? Let's censor people. Let's lower the voting age to 16. Let's try to get rid of the electoral college. Let's try to get him impeached. Besides their proof of no collusion, we still want him to get impeached. Let us keep doing anything we can to get him out of office because we lost, and we don't like losing. And all Republicans are racist, and we are the better party.
It wasn't the politicians trying to kick him out. It was the people.
What do you mean, people?
We the people.
That's what they told you?
That's what it is. People are saying that's not my president. Everybody's trying to kick him out. It's just the people, the politicians, are not trying to kick him out.
No,
No, it's politicians. Yeah. He has a very high, very good approval rating for him. It's very hasn't lowered or nothing.
No, but guess who won? Like the electoral college, they all voted for him. Not we, the people, voted for the Hillary Clinton.
We the people.
Yeah, us.
But that's not how it works. That's how our political system doesn't work.
Yeah, that's why. So most politicians they voted Donald Trump in.
Not really. But like
Electoral college.
yeah, the electoral college. The reason it was made is so states like California, who have a high population, can't can't like decide the fate of laws and senators and shit based on people from Nebraska who only have like a population of like 50 people.
Because remember, let's say a bigger state, has more votes, obviously, but then you have a small state, and they're not gonna have as much as a voice or that way.
Yeah.
How is that fair? If you do it mostly by popular vote, because each state you should count their votes, right? That's how it goes. But you say popular vote, but that's gonna make it useless unless you're a small state and you won't really matter.
The popular vote is every single people.
Yeah, I know, but let's say like
That's
more
not
people.
Really matter for the state. The electoral college is something different. That's for the state.
No, the reason we have the electoral college is so politicians don't go to the big cities. Like the entire county of Los Angeles itself, including the city, has a bigger population than the entire Midwest combined. So that means politicians, all they have to do is go to New York, Tallahassee, Dallas maybe, and Los Angeles, get their vote, and that's it. Instead of going to the Midwest, which is kind of dumb.
No, I'm not disagreeing with electoral college. I do like the electoral college because I wouldn't really trust us. Like, I wouldn't really trust ourselves to vote. Because imagine if Hillary Clinton won, would have been fucked. Dead ass would have been fucked.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the electoral college than the popular vote.
No, yeah, it makes sense because there's still 43% of Americans who think brown cows give out chocolate milk.
Dead ass? That's an actual fact?
Dead ass.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Race is still it's still a big problem in the U.S. There are still slaves. These are things we have to solve. Okay, racism is worse than ever. Because I remember Ben Shapiro said, when racism happens to you, it's like it's bigger than ever. Only when it like happens to you, that's when you're like, oh my god, yeah, racism is a problem. But like for the most part, it's not really a big problem right now.
Another thing I just want to link with racism is like a feminist saying that women are having it bad today, even though the Western world right now is one of the most developed countries. It's the group of developed countries in the world. There's still countries in the Middle East and like the Eurasia area where they still have slaves, where they still have people forced against their will to marry their husbands, and then they don't do anything for the rest of their lives.
Any type of slavery do that.
They're basically sex slaves, but no, the West is doing it worse because I'm getting paid less than the man.
Isn't that illegal? Getting paid less.
Yeah, it's illegal, and the statistics that says that it's like they get 80 cents to it. I think 86 cents to the dollar of a man is bullshit because they don't put in the fact that individual choices depict who you are. It's not they.
Most people who say that they're fucking actors, as you can see, and they get paid less because they're pretty shitty actors.
No, yeah, there's actors that say like, oh, I get paid less than this guy. It's like maybe because that guy is a better actor than fucking you. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, the actors are saying that, and then just the followers are listening to it like, don't I get paid less too? They're fucking stupid. Everybody gets paid the same. It's just the actors that's different type of payment that they get.
And if it's true that if women were getting paid less, then why don't companies just hire women if they're getting like if they're paying them less than men? Wouldn't they just hire women the entire time if they pay them less? You make no sense.
No, because listen, if that was true, we could hire a lot more women, and you waste like less than half. You barely waste any money, so you'd save money, and don't really have to pay them that much. Whether if you get a good actor, a guy, let's say better than them, you'd have to pay like half the freaking money that you pay all of them. So it's not really true, because like there's some actresses, that get paid a lot more than some guy actors, some male actors,
I think one of the actors that gets paid more than a male is Black Widow, the girl. She gets paid a lot because, dude, she knows how to she does her own stunts. She knows how to do a lot of shit, and she's fucking hot.
She got a big ass. That's mostly what I see the movie. I don't see her because her acting.
She has good stunts. Though.
I don't know, but everybody, my favorite actor is of course Daddy Cruz, Tom Cruise. The Search of Scientology is thinking of making him a fucking saint. I read something about that the other day, and I actually wanted to have him, please.
What the fuck?
Dead ass.
Listen, wasn't there like a story? I don't really want to fucking talk about it because they're fucking strict with that. I just say there's a story. I'll let you look that up your own. The story about them. I don't really want to talk about it. It's really, really weird if you get into it. But yeah, so I'm gonna join Scientology, and I'm just gonna pay myself the way up. Because that's basically it's a scheme. Literally, it's not even a religion.
Daniel, let's just make a cult right now. Since the basis of a cult is to have a religion, so I think our religion should just be the Bible. But our like main focus on that religion is the new Messiah that will come to this world that is already here, people. as of now, we are no longer known as your generic podcast. We are known as the cultist, the DeVitoans, who hail Danny DeVito, the new prophet of this world.
Oh my god.
All hail DeVito.
Well, I actually switched from being Catholic to believing in the spaghetti monster because, after Shut up, Josh. After years of searching and soul searching through my whole life, I figured out the spaghetti monster was the religion for me, and I knew that there was a God above all, and that is the spaghetti God.
My God is Hitler. Sorry about that. Because if you read the Bible, come on, if you read the Bible, come on. We're not trying to get banned, you retard. Hey, you read the Bible. They both have to do with genocide. Hitler did genocide, and the Bible did genocide, didn't it? Fucking religion. I love it.
Genocide is okay when there are furries, gay, incels. What else? Muslims. What else?
Stop fucking pulling it. We don't need a genocide now. We need a new crusade. I see all true Christian males of the Western world come together and meet at fucking degree latitude. Suck my ass. And together we will march on Jerusalem and take back the Holy Land from the Goyams, the Zionists, and the Muslims.
You know what's weird? Like, you know how right now a lot of progressive people are very for LGBT and, Muslims? But, when it comes to both of them mixing, because, Muslims, they don't like gay people, right? So, I remember in, what was it? Because there was a school that they were teaching LGBTQ.
Oh, yeah, in North Carolina or Virginia, I believe. They try to make a law.
No, that was in England, right?
Oh, shit, it was in England.
Yeah, it was in England. So, in England, they were teaching LGBTQ classes, whatever, because, it's England. And, the Muslims, they said they didn't like that. They wanted to teach that because, they're very against gay people and stuff. So, when that happened, there was a decision they had to make because they're for Muslims and for LGBTQ. So, since they're for both of them, when it came to choosing one or the other, they chose the Muslims, okay? So, besides being progressive, when it comes to Muslims and LGBTQ, gay people and everything, they'll choose Muslims, So literally, I thought they were very progressive, but they don't notice that Muslims, they are a bit kind of like, they don't like gays, Same how some people say Christians hate gays, So Muslims in their religion, they don't like gays too. But, they're Muslims, we got to protect them, If a Muslim die, okay, we'll talk more about that. Christians die too, we won't really talk about that way because, Muslims, it's a better story, It fits our agenda.
Shut up, Daniel. God is a female.
Oh God, no! But there's another example like of Daniel, like kind of like progressives trying to change the narrative. As you might not have known, in Italy there is a migrant that stole a bus of children and threatened to burn it down because he was trying to tell the government to let immigrants that are crossing through the Mediterranean in. But if you look at the New York Times title, I think they might have either edited it or deleted it, or just they probably still have it right now. I haven't checked, but they put it as Italian man. Not an immigrant, because they try to put a story that immigrants aren't the ones that are doing it, but the Italians, which is a really dumb and inexcusable lie that you're trying to play.
I did not know about that, Julian. Thank you for telling me that.
You're welcome, incel.
I just know about pizzas born over there. That's it.
When the moon hits here, I like a big pizza pie.
It's your morning.
You're gay, Josh. You don't know the lyrics. You're mega gay.
I ain't cultured like you guys.
You're not cultured like me. Daniel, when the moon hits here, I like a big pizza pie.
What the fuck are you on about?
Oh my God.
Are you okay, dude? Julian, get back the fuck out. What do you want? Nigga, he's fucking weird, Josh. How do you talk to this nigga? What were you guys talking about when I left?
We were talking about the immigrant that burned down the bus. Or tried to burn down.
Okay. So the way I see it is, when we were talking about letting in a lot of immigrants, right? Like nothing, remember in England they were letting a lot of Muslims in, right? And they have their religion, it's very different. But when you try to mix in another like religion or culture with your culture, and you clash, it's gonna be hard, So when you bring Muslims over here to the U.S., Christians and Muslims, they're gonna clash. There's a problem there,
The thing that they believe is that they're gonna get together and become friends. because most of the church are not